In a universe where Tony Stark's Iron Man technology consumes every piece of him, will he have the strength to keep himself human? Our story begins at Stark Industries during a late-night storm. Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan enter into a dark room. Happy's got his gun drawn, ready for action. In this universe, Pepper's a top scientist and executive at Stark Industries. And I'm secretly in love with my boss. I know, it's stupid, ridiculous, cliché. As they enter the room, they see a silhouette leaned against a wall. It's a metal suit of armor. Pepper approaches it. Suddenly, two bloodshot eyes jolt open underneath the mask. Oh my god! Pepper realizes that's Tony inside the contraption. She races to his side, trying to peel off his mask as Tony painfully calls her name. This is the story of how I died. Happy and Pepper are able to pop off the helmet, the legs, and the arms. Tony's skin is revealed to be bruised, battered, and scarred. He's sick underneath that suit of armor. Pepper goes to take off the rest of the suit, but the chest piece stays. Pepper insists, but Tony explains that there's shrapnel inside his chest, inching toward his heart. Electromagnets in the suit keep the shrapnel at bay. The machine is keeping me alive, Peps. Tony stands to his feet, pulling the suit's charger from his chest plate. He races to a computer. Pepper voices her concern, but he brushes her off. Don't be ridiculous. It's just a few burns, abrasions, soft tissue injuries, significant bruising, what looks like organ hematomas. Tony understands that the suit is not enough as is. It can be made better. It can be more than armor, more than a weapon. Tony sends his friends away to go do whatever normal people do on Friday nights. None of us listen, of course. Happy and Jarvis at least leave Tony's penthouse, but Pepper actually stays to help. Pep dives into Stark Industries' deeply hidden work on robotics, biomed tech, and machine learning, falling asleep during her all-night studies. I dream of clawing at a paradise attached to my chest until my nails peel off. No mystery as to the origin of that little nightmare. Tony walks into her office, finding her crashed on the keyboard. Pepper, you up? Pepper sits up, wiping the sleep from her eyes. Yes, Mr. Stark. Fatigue caught up with me there. When she looks up, she sees a horrifying sight. Tony had put the suit back on, the suit that just drained the life from him the night before. You're gonna love this, Peps. Ladies and gentlemen, you thought he was dead, but he just got better. Presenting Tony Stark. Good as new. Tony pops off his mask with ease, revealing a healthy face. The bruises, scarring, and peeling skin from the night before, all gone. Pepper beams with excitement. She races to his side and feels his healthy skin. When he's giving the world something new, whether it's ready for it or not, he's absolutely radiant. Tony explains his new invention, and therefore his new direction for the company. If this armor works as well as I think it will, it'll be a mobile hospital, keeping people safe no matter where they go in the world. The bright Pepper deduces that this type of tech requires more than your run-of-the-mill dermal regenerators to do this type of work. You got me. Knitting flesh back together is complicated, so semi-autonomous computational machinery runs the show. It coordinates with my brainwaves, Pepper. Pepper is floored and impressed, but she hasn't even heard the most impressive part of this suit. His organs, his bones, everything inside him, it's all healing. I had an epiphany in that cave. I suck at dying, Pepper. I'm much better at figuring out ways to stay alive. That's what this suit does now. Its sole purpose is to keep me safe, secure, and above all, alive. Tony raises his left arm. Before he put the suit on, he had 3 fractures in his hand. Hurt like hell and slowed down my typing. Damn irritating. Want to see what it looks like now, Mr. Stark? I absolutely would. They pop off his gauntlet. It slides right off smoothly, but with it comes his skin. Tony screams in pain. The insides of his arm are showing. He collapses to the floor as Pepper picks up the armored hand. Oh my god! Oh my god! Hearing the commotion, Jarvis and Happy rush in. They wrestle his flailing arm and place the gauntlet back on the suit. The suit begins to heal Tony, soothing his pain. Pepper, Happy, and Jarvis sit in silence for a moment, still reeling at what they just saw. But Tony's ready to get back in the lab. Just a few bugs to work out. Bugs? That thing ate your skin, boss. Tony explains that it didn't eat his skin. The suit replaced it. The suit is designed to heal and protect him. It must have used logical calculations to surmise that iron skin is stronger than flesh. It just went a step too far. I swear, I can fix it. The hand's the only part of the suit that developed that trait. The rest of the suit can come off, no pain. They take off everything but the gauntlet so Tony can make some adjustments. I just need to rebuild the suit's supervisory algorithm, make it regenerate the skin it took. I refreshed myself on the company's latest AI and biomedical research last night, Mr. Stark. Yes! There's my Pepper. I can always rely on you. Tony sends Jarvis and Happy to prep the manufacturing plants. Meanwhile, Pepper and Tony will lock themselves in this room until they come up with a solution. Two of the planet's greatest minds focused on a single problem, with the resources of the world's greatest company behind them. I gotta say, I like our odds. The pair works through the day and into the night. This is the longest she's ever spent with Tony alone, and he's treating her as an intellectual equal. We're finishing each other's equations. It's invigorating. Eventually, Pepper notices his little quirks, like the way he taps his foot when he focuses. Tony hates it, thinking it makes him look like a child. I love it. I love him. As the night goes on, Tony reveals his true self in a way Pepper's never seen. When Tony said, "I suck at dying," that was just the quippy version of what happened in that cave. He realized something. I don't think I like myself anymore. Though he feigned confidence, Tony really thought he might die in that cave. But all he could think about was what his obituary would read. It'd say I was an arms manufacturer, a life lived in service of death and profit. Tony thought that was unfair. It's not like he ever killed anyone, right? He obsessively thought about how all of the obituaries wouldn't truly be defining the man he was. And then I made myself a suit of iron, and I put it on, and I killed every single man and woman who had held me hostage. So much for that argument. As Tony's eyes fill with tears, Pepper consoles him. Tony can justify killing in that cave, but can he justify the rest of his life? I want the world to remember Tony Stark as a hero who helped people, who made the world a better place, who saved the little guy when nobody else would. This suit is how he'll do that. It's how he'll become a hero. There's something else I realized in that cave, Pepper. The future's uncertain. Nobody's guaranteed any time. I'm tired of postponing what I really want. Tired of postponing the people who love me. Tony gently touches Pepper's chin, then leans in. The two share a passionate kiss. As it grows even more passionate, Pepper reminds Tony that they have other concerns right now. First, fix the suit, then make out in the lab. The two go back to work, knee-deep in lab experiments. The power couple's work is only interrupted the next morning when Jarvis comes in with breakfast. Jarvis refers to her as ma'am, a little more formal than she's used to from him. Was he watching the security cameras last night? But that thought is broken up when Tony walks into the room. Pepper and Jarvis shriek at the sight. Tony's wearing the suit, stumbling toward them as a white liquid pours through the seams of his armor. What's wrong, Pepper? The suit, Tony. Why the hell did you put it back on? I'm wearing the suit? Tony didn't even remember putting it on. Pepper runs to the computer to do a quick scan. Tony, inside the suit, it's just gone, Tony. Everywhere. It's dissolved. We can't remove the armor right now, Tony. Not as things stand. It'd kill you. Tony seems unbothered. Obviously, I'm concerned. But Pepper, why would I ever want to remove the suit? Pepper's heart stops. She has no response. Her face goes white. Pepper, I'm kidding. It may have taken my skin, but I've still got my trademark humor. Tony agrees that they can't take it off for now. They'll get back in the lab and run some more tests. Tony needs to eat, so he sends Pepper and Jarvis to fix him a nutritional isolation to consume. Only a few minutes later, they return, finding Tony sprawled on the ground. Isolation protocol. A glass wall shuts down right in Pepper's face, keeping the two apart. I don't feel so good, Peps. I feel different. Pepper goes to do a scan on his insides. I tell him whatever's happening to him is accelerating. I tell him there are wires from the suit deep inside his brain. I tell him his skull is gone and he'll never be able to leave the suit again. And I tell him most of what I see is just undifferentiated meat. But Tony is calm. He doesn't flinch. That sounds fine to me. Tony turns around, stumbling toward the computers. An iron skull is better than bone, but he needs to do something about the leaking. I'll need to postpone our date some, Pepper. Tony throws the building into full lockdown. Happy, Jarvis, and Pepper can't reach him or the outside. All they can do is wait. He's building something, focused on it with everything he has. He's not tapping his foot anymore. After a while, the lab unlocks. Happy and Jarvis walk into the lab, guns drawn, as Tony explains his new epiphany. The human form is flawed. Every cell is a chance for cancer, but he can fix it. God made us in his own image, Pepper, and we don't have to live with that mistake anymore. Suddenly, the glass wall shuts again, leaving Happy and Jarvis trapped with Tony. The fire suppression system kicks on, knocking them out. Tony's metallic hands reach out and pull them away. Pepper runs back to the security cameras. They're all turned off, except one Tony wants her to see. The zombified Tony loads Happy and Jarvis into a recreation of his armor, both stuffed inside one suit. I hear bones snap. I see what was inside both men gush out of every crease, every slit. The building's lockdown shuts off. Pepper runs to a window where she sees another suit standing in a crowd of people, trying to recruit more bodies into Tony's horde. Diseases your doctors claimed were incurable can be fixed. Stark Industries is here to help. You just need to climb inside. Pepper launches a chair through her window onto the street. Don't get in the suit! Don't get in the suit! But it doesn't work. The people on the streets fight through each other to climb into the suit. For a moment, I let myself hope there's just one suit. Just the one. But then, Pepper hears the screams. From across the city, a chorus of shrieks break through the night, only ceasing when the flesh inside the suits has fully transformed. When a heavy hand falls on her shoulder and she hears her name coming from the man she loves, she knows she's next.